Hi, everybody. Happy Sunday. So, I'm really thankful that I'm able to record this tonight as opposed to tomorrow night. Although I did a bit of traveling this weekend, it wasn't out of state. So, I was able to be back here, back in my space at the end of the night and just sit down and collect my thoughts. So, I mentioned in my last video, I really want to try and make these shorter. So, that is the goal with this one. So, we're just going to start. I should say that you should never plan on filming a video after just watching Dear John for the first time. If you've never seen it, don't watch it. It is a tearjerker. It will ruin you. And I am, this is me post like 2 hours of intense sobbing. Anyone who has seen it, y'all understand. So bear with me. So this week, I'm going to talk to you about dreams. So dreams have always fascinated me ever since I was little. I used to remember my dreams very vividly, and I often had recurring dreams. And then I became fascinated when I heard that you could interpret your dreams. And of course, there's various ways to go about interpreting them, and you can reference various sources and you get different meanings each time. But I just find it really fascinating. I really feel like so much of what goes on subconsciously shows up in your dreams. So I was sharing with a friend today that I don't worry on a daily basis in my daily walk because I have really placed full control in God's hands when it concerns things that may be of worry to me. But oftentimes I will experience extreme worry in my dreams, and I'll wake up and be a little disoriented. And that's actually what happened to me on Monday. So this week I felt a little off after I had a really startling nightmare on Monday evening, or Monday going into Monday morning, and it woke me up and I couldn't fall back asleep. And if you've ever experienced that, you just know how jolting that can be, kind of puts you in a weird headspace. But thankfully, I was told on Tuesday by a close friend that he had a dream about me and it was positive and that he missed me. And then on Wednesday, I had a different friend reach out to me saying that she had a dream about me and she was concerned and just checking in. And I was like, okay, God, this is pretty cool. This is redeeming the awful dream that I had on Monday. Let's see what else shows up this week. Sure enough, he delivered, as he always does. Thursday through Saturday, not really any significant dreams, but then today I woke up and I was so baffled by the dream that I had because it was so jam-packed of vivid details that were so specific, so random, but after taking some time to really think about it, it all made so much sense, which is really cool. So I really want to dive into that one really quickly. I will spare all of the details, the little details that really don't matter, but the one that really stuck out to me was that there was this fire that occurred. And after really thinking and looking into what fire can represent, of course, it comes down to the fact that it is destructive and it can clear everything in its path. But the beauty behind fire is that it brings a light. There's a rebirth and a renewal, a nourishment. And in order to create more fertile and rich soil where things can be planted with a purpose, sometimes there has to be that destruction and that leveling. So I really feel like God is preparing me for this rebirth and this renewal and this restoration at this point in my life. And I'm really excited for that. So that was actually really hopeful. So just a side note, 2 things. When you dream about someone, tell them, because there could be a very specific reason for you dreaming about them. That's actually happened to me before, where I reached out to a friend after I had such a beautiful dream about her, and she was actually going through a really tough time, and she was like, how did you know? And I was like, I didn't, but he does. So reach out. Another thing, just an encouragement that I received from one of my friends after I told him I had such a startling dream on Monday. He was like, I was reading in the Bible that Joseph had dreams, and I was like, yes. that's pretty cool. So that just led me to want to dive into that further. So it's really cool how dreams show up. So the rest of this week, I was actually on my own. My mentor, she was out sick, unfortunately, this week. She's doing better, thank goodness. But she was out sick, so I was pushed out of my comfort zone, and I was out at my participants' homes all by myself, and that felt really good. Really put me up to the challenge, and I think I faced it head on with strength and courage, so that was good. We had a Valentine's Day party with our participants, and that was really fun just to be in that shared space all together and seeing the acts of service be right before your eyes and just kind of be out of the normal day-to-day routine of it all, and just celebrating love and celebrating God's love and just being together in fellowship. That was really fun. I had sing-alongs with both of my participants. One to I Just Can't Wait to Be King from The Lion King, always a fun one. And then with my other participant, we sang Dolly Parton and Loretta Lynn, so that was great. I had quality time with one of my participants' caregivers who, unfortunately, we received the news today that he passed after being on hospice for a while. And although I say this with a heavy heart, it's also really just hopeful to think about how he is now at peace and he is at rest and he is able to just feel absolutely no pain. And I just pray that he is entering into heaven, into God's loving arms, and just feeling just absolute bliss. So just keep that family. You don't know them, but please keep them in their prayers. And anyone that you know that may have lost someone in their life recently, just say a little prayer for them right now. Okay, so we welcomed some new volunteers into our home, which is always exciting. New stories to hear, new dynamics, so that's always fun. I received quite a few Valentine's Day cards from loved ones, which was awesome. I love love, so it made me really happy. It reminded me how truly loved and supported I am. And then to further feel that love and support, one of my closest friends took the trek from Pennsylvania down to Kentucky for the first time and stayed with me this weekend and celebrated Valentine's Day weekend with me, which was awesome because she is definitely someone very near and dear to my heart. So she had never been to Kentucky, and I thought, what better way to welcome her to the Bluegrass State than to go to Waffle House? She had never been. And luckily for us, Store 750 in Richmond, Kentucky did it up for Valentine's Day. I can't even begin to tell you. They had champagne glasses with sparkling grape juice. Everything was decked. Like, the store from top to bottom was decked out in Valentine's Day decor. They had heart placemats, they had pie, they had reservations. So I was like, hey, just so you know, this is what you can expect from a Waffle House. And if anyone has ever been to Waffle House, you know what I'm talking about. This was no ordinary Waffle House experience. We walked in and they went, do you have a reservation? And I scoffed very sarcastically. And I was like, oh, you're kidding, right? They were like, no, we're taking reservations. And I was like, what is this? Needless to say, we connected with the wonderful staff that was there. They pulled out all the stops. They even gave us these Altoids in this engraved box as a memento to remember the wonderful Valentine's Day that we had. So Store 750 in Richmond, Kentucky, I'm writing a letter to corporate about you because y'all are amazing. And definitely if you're in the area, stop by that one. Okay, so Saturday morning, I got to have my closest friend meet my faith mentor and my Georgia mama, and we did a devotional on Jeremiah 17 together. And then I actually shared with them a dream that I really feel like it was a God idea, not a good idea, it's a God idea. It came to me last week when I was alone on the Blue Ridge Parkway, just praying and just being in the moment and the stillness. There was snow coming in on the mountain. It was gorgeous. I was struck with this idea and I was like, whoa, we got to pray about this. What is going to happen? So it was nice just sharing that with them, and then feeling very encouraged. And that's just something to be determined, to be discussed, perhaps in a later video, who knows. After my friend and I spent all of Saturday together just showing her around the area, we then went to the Kentucky Music Hall of Fame for a music night. And boy howdy, did we have the best time. There was twerking, there was clogging, there was singing, there was a song, a rendition of Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. Dreams, hello, stop showing up, okay? And I was like, this just can't be. And then my friend, actually, this was a dream that I've had for so long. It's so simple, but even before I knew how to play the ukulele, my friend purchased me a ukulele. So please meet Luke the Uke. We are learning how to play him. We hope to get very good, but this is so much more symbolic than y'all may even understand, because I just want to take a moment to give a shout out to my friend Aubrey. Like I said, she bought this. She insisted on buying this, what she called a banjo. She thought it was a banjo for the longest time. Bless her heart. But she wanted to buy this ukulele for me, even before, or knowing full well that I didn't know how to play it, but knew that it was a dream of mine to want to just play the ukulele and sing. So be an Aubrey. That's all that I have to say. I am so blessed to have an Aubrey in my life, and everyone should, but I just say be an Aubrey. Be that person who supports and encourages the dreams of those that you have faith in and those that you truly love and care about, because it means so much more than you could ever imagine. So I really hope to learn and perform with that Luke the Uke, okay? So any suggestions on how to make that happen, feel free to let me know. Okay, wrapping this up. So today, talk about a divine echo. We get to church, I take Aubrey to church, and what is the sermon on? Dreams. Of course it is. So I'm freaking out. But really what I got out of it, and Aubrey and I were able to talk about afterwards, was giving up on your dreams, in a sense of giving it up, giving in, and giving it over to God, because He is going to take your dream and your vision and make it so much greater, so much clearer, and so much grander if you submit to Him and you surrender and you fully obey the will that He has for your life. So those dreams, they're unfathomable to what they could look like if you just really put it in God's hands. So that was a bit of encouragement for me, especially with that idea that I shared that came to me last weekend. So that was really, really special. Lastly, I was on my way to drop Aubrey off at the Lexington airport, and I prayed a prayer and I said, God, you know what? Surprise us. Before Aubrey leaves, after this wonderful weekend together, surprise us. So we are surprised with the Keeneland racing course that is right outside of the airport. We drove around, we took pictures, and Aubrey is convinced this entire time that that is where the Kentucky Derby is. And bless her heart, I did not want to crush her dream, so I let her go on with that and thinking that, until I finally said, Aubrey, are you sure this is where the Kentucky Derby is held? And she was like, and fact checked, found out it is not. But it was still a really, really funny memory that we have now that we can share together. But yeah, so I had a really fantastic week, and there were definitely challenges, but there were such cool, beautiful moments, and I don't know, I'm just super joyous. I'm really excited to start learning how to play Luke the Uke, and I hope that y'all have an amazing week. Maybe there's a dream that you have and you haven't prayed about it. I encourage you to pray about it, because crazy dreams takes crazy faith. What is that word? Crazy dreams takes crazy faith, and that comes from crazy prayers. So pray those crazy prayers, If there's any that you want me to pray about, let me know. But other than that, I hope y'all have a wonderful week.